All right, so we've got the previous video showed us putting the fixtures on the second floor. Pretty happy with that layout. No questioning about this this bathtub, but anyway, we'll worry about the details after we get the major brush strokes in, then we come back in and do some finer tuning. But anyway, this is a butler's pantry that could use a sink. Let's use one of these. So we'll say create similar. And then there we go. Nice sink for the butler's pantry. Then here we have let's see. Let's see what happens if we copy this. Let's see if that works. I don't think it will. There's something about this that doesn't work for me. So let's just do it the regular way. All right, we'll put in a architecture component. Looking for toilet. Spelled it wrong. T-O-I. Got my 3D toilet. Let's put it over here. And then let's do architecture component, model in place. We're still in casework. We're going to do an extrusion, wrong material. Do that green. Okay. And what happens if I click on that and say 2 feet? Look at that worked. Okay. Extrusion is good. Material is good. The location dimensions are good. Okay. Okay. I did locate from the previous video. I was trying to find that oval sink. I was having a little trouble with that, but we found it. I found it, put it in the library. So when I say architecture component and I type sink, I should have the oval sink as an option now. Let's see. Yes, I do right here. All right. So there we go. Not really sure how that guy should be located. So we'll just put him right. Oh, let's raise him up that 5 inches. And I should see it now. Okay, so let's click on this guy, edit in place. I'm going to do a void extrusion. I'm going to pick lines and I'm going to say offset 0.5 inches from the line that I pick. I'm trying to draw the extrusion outline. Okay. I'm offsetting. Now here I don't want an offset. Change that back to 0. And I'm not actually going to pick a line either. So we're just going to draw one from there to there. Okay. Looks good. Finish. Cut. Let's see what happened there. If we use our consistent color set, we can see got a cut in the countertop now. All right, so let's stick with the countertop. We'll put, let's nudge this guy over just a little bit. We'll say create similar. Let's put him over here. And now architecture component, model in place. we're looking for casework again. And we'll do that extrusion. Let's try this again and see what happens. Looks good that way. I want this to be 3 feet. Let's see if I can do that. Yep. All right, I like it. There it is. Now let's click on it, edit in place, create. Oops, guess what I didn't do yet. All right, I'm going to put this countertop in before I go any further. The only reason I'm going to do all the countertops is because I've set the material. So setting the material to green, I just want to use my, so we'll do an extrusion. This time, draw that. I like it. Okay. Now, that has not been cut yet. Just put it in. I don't think anyway. I would be very surprised. Let's see. I don't believe it's cut, and yet it does seem to be. So maybe when I copied that sync over there, it copied the void extrusion 2, which is unique. It generally doesn't happen that way. All right, so we're looking for more countertops, and guess what? There is going to be another one in the laundry room. So texture, model in place, still casework. All right, I'm going to do an extrusion and draw from here. Now this might not, well, this is definitely not going to be the final countertop because I have to leave room for the washer and dryer, but I haven't figured out where that's going to be yet. All right, looks good. That looks good. Know what this one is. Isn't what we want it to be. All right. Say okay to that. All right. Now, we may not actually do this in the final, but anyway, it's, I mean, in the real construction of this, they may not actually lay it out like that, but let's create some more. We'll put that guy over here. I'm just going to put it here for now. And so let's drag this down here. I'm going to put in 2. You'll see that when we see the 3D, this is, oh yeah, I can actually see it already. Oops, that was a mistake. I moved the wall to the washer and I wanted the washer to move to the wall, but I went too far. Let's see. Won't let me do that either. I'm going to undo it again. and a line. So we have this little spacer here that the manufacturer doesn't want the washing machine closer. It really should have a gap in the back too, because that's where the hose is that goes to the dryer to let the dryer vent outside. But I'm gonna copy this guy from here, so those spacers are together. And now there we go. So they really should have about 6 inches of space behind them for that flexible hose to allow. Oops, I just moved it 6 feet. So I'll move it back 5'5", 5.5. Okay, and that's really likely what it would look like. Now you notice that I have a stacked washer and dryer, and I have 2 washers and 2 dryers in here, and I think that's great. I have that in my own house. It's wonderful to have 2 washers and dryers. I suggest that to most of my clients. Very few of them ever do this. But anyway, I still lay it out that way to begin with. Okay, so we have to put a sink in here. I don't want a sink there. I have one over here. Let's try that. Create similar, and we'll flip it so that it's okay. And there, let's go to the view. Yep, okay there. And you can see the lip is on the countertop correctly. So, all right, take this guy, edit in place, create, avoid form, avoid extrusion, and I'll just draw that rectangle. Let's see if I can get it. Oops, I wanted to draw the rectangle. Okay, and here we go. And it's the right height. Say cut. Just like that. So I think all my countertops are in now. While I'm looking, I'll just hit the save button and say, yep, okay, all the countertops are in. Still have cabinets and some shelving. So let's put in the create similar. Here's going to be, I want to rotate it. So I'm going to grab this guy and rotate him 90 degrees. Then I'll use the align tool, align to the face of the gypsum board. Looks good there. All right, let's see if we can mirror that about midpoint. Yep. So let's do it this way. See if we can pick a midpoint here. Looks good. Okay. You can see that the hangers that I selected from Revit City had been already drawn, but they're wider than a hanger is, so they look like they're going to hit into the door, but a hanger isn't that wide. I've tried to modify it a couple of times, but whoever made that hanger didn't do it the way that I would do it, and so I've been having trouble modifying it. But anyway, no one's going to look at this and say, "Oh my God, those hangers are wider," and then go out and try to buy some hangers that are wider than a real hanger is. So I'm not too concerned about it. But all right, we have another one over here. Let's create similar. and flip it around. Good enough. All right, I can align it with the face of the gypsum board here. And I can align it with the face of the gypsum board here. But this one I think I'm going to drag. Yep, looks good. Okay. So I have my closet, my powder room. I have my office. I have my great room, butler's pantry, breakfast nook, kitchen, walk-in pantry. Come in the back, we've got our back hall lab, our laundry room, a walk-in closet. Because remember, this is Michigan. Some places the closets aren't that important because people aren't coming in and out with bulky jackets and boots in the wintertime. But here in Michigan, we definitely have a need for different season clothes for different seasons. So closets are important. Back hall closets are very important. And this is really what I would call a guest closet when your guests come in here. So, all right. That looks pretty good. We have to put a sink in here still, it looks like. And this is the kind of sink that I want. We use the Create Similar, which is a pretty valuable tool, I think. I use it quite a bit. And it's the right height. So let's just put it in. And then we'll center it. Okay. Delete. I hit the enter key to accept that warning. All right, now we're going to edit in place. Create a void form, void extrusion. Again, I'm going to use my pick line, but I'm going to offset by 1/2 inch, 0.5 inches. We'll come in here and I just put my mouse just slightly on the side of that line that I want the offset to be. It's not a big deal if I get it wrong because I can always delete it. Now I'm going to draw a regular line, but I want it to be 0 inches because I just wanted to connect these two without having an offset. I'm going to say, okay. I'm going to say, what happened here? Oh, closed loop. So somewhere I don't have a closed. Oh, look at that. All right, let's try the fillet command. I might, what if I do? That's the first time I've ever seen that happen. Let's see if I delete this line. Let's see what happens now. Yeah. Cut. Oh, the cut worked. Okay. Never saw that happen before, but that's all right. So now we have our sinks in, and we have our countertops in. We have our closet, hanging closet stuff in. I could put some shelves in the walk-in pantry. This is a big space here. I don't know how well that's going to go over. With the client, anyway, we'll see. Put some mirrors in the architecture component model in place. Still call it casework. The material is going to be a mirror, so I'll go ahead and put my mirrors in. Whoops. All right, and draw a rectangle. I want it to go from here to, whoa. Rectangle, I want it to go from here to here. And the thickness of it, we'll make it 3/4. And that was a mistake that happens sometimes. Rabbit didn't know which one I wanted to change. So I clicked on the one I want to change now. Let's see what happens. Yep, it moved it where it's supposed to be. Let's change this to 6 feet in height. Say okay. Now say okay to that. I'm going to grab this guy and flip him and take a look. Here's what we have. I'll take that mirror all the way up to the ceiling. There really should be a backsplash, but I'll have to show that. All right, now might as well do the cabinets while we're in there. All right, here's that countertop. You can see the arrows need to be flipped. Okay, this is the cabinet for the sink. So I'll still be able to put stuff on both sides. Some kind of a shelving unit. So I want to mirror this. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then let's grab one of these. Create similar. We'll put him right here and flip it. All right. And I can grab him. Let's start out by aligning. Okay. Oops. Now I can't see the face of it because my section line is cutting through the cabinet. So I guess it's time to align it. Let's see what happens. I want to align here and here. All right. So the cabinet looks like it's a little bit wider than it needs to be. Let's make it the next increment down from 15. We'll make it 12. So there we go, got a 12 inch. And then we'll move him as an alignment. And then we'll take this guy and mirror him about the middle there. And so all I need to do now is align this guy. Align tool. This line, and there we go. Okay, so now I have my toilet doesn't look very good. It looks like it's off to one side. So let's hit this key, the arrow on the keyboard. We'll nudge it over a little bit. Looks better. Looks good. All right. Let's grab this guy and we'll go to that view. There we go. All right. Again, I want to create similar. Here. Create similar. All right. Let's flip it around. Got the arrows on the right side. Now what I just did was I clicked on it and that made Revit think I want to edit the family and I do not. So I'll close that back down. And I just want to drag it over. And now I can align the cabinet and the sink. Looks like I'll just have filler over there. And I'm just looking at this wall and it appears that the cavities in the wrong spot for this. I can change that, and I'm not going to put any more. Well, maybe I would put a little bit more. Let's do that. Okay, so let's put the drawer base in the bank here. Create similar. That guy right here. All right, I need to rotate it. Oops, it's getting weird. I've selected it, rotate. I want to rotate it 90 degrees. Okay. And let's line it up. Align it with this. All right, go back to the view. Well, that's okay. That looks pretty good. All right, back to the first floor. Align. Let's align. Multiples not selected, so I have to click it again. Okay, let's take a look at what we just did. All right. So before I forget, it looks like I need to fix my stack wall. So this wall should be, I think it's 10 foot and 5/8 in height. So let's edit it and see what we have for that wall. Preview it, and what I'm looking for is right there. It should be 10 foot and 5/8 minus these two. Okay. All right, so that should be 9'10". That's 6'10", I believe. Let's give that a try and see what happens. Not quite. And you can see, well, this height of this wall should be top of the first floor wall. Okay, what's this? Spatial. So that's in the right spot. And good, except I made a mistake on my math. So let's measure. 8'10½". Let's try that then. Okay, edit the type. 9'10". Let's say 8 foot. 10.5. Let's see what happens. All right. Right spot there. It's not in the right spot there. That's a 1/2 inch, and it is. Okay, I'm gonna take that 1/2 inch out of that. Edit this type, and 8'10". Okay. Yeah, the brick ledge lines up with the grade, which is correct. The top of the basement wall lines up with the, there's a level there. Let's see what that is. Top of the basement wall, first floor. So I'll put my structure in there. Okay. I fixed that now because I saw it and I just wanted to make it right. So yeah, I guess when we go to the first floor, it should have changed this wall too. So let's go take a look and see if it did. It's the same stacked wall. Let's go in there and see if it's okay now. This is my wall right here. So change them both at the same, because it's the same wall type. So I've changed, when I change one, it changes it everywhere. So you have to make sure that that's what you want to happen. All right. So we're putting in the cabinets here. Now we have cabinets we can put in the laundry room. Again, I need one of these, so just copy it over from where? Well, let's go from the midpoint of that faucet to the midpoint, and it should be in the right space there. I can see that I have a little, that'll probably be a filler. And let's go back and take a look at what's going on here. Yeah, okay, so I didn't center the sink yet. Right, so let me center the sink. So I centered this, I made the opening before I put the sink in the right location. So we gotta grab that void and fix it just a little bit. Okay, then we have to go to that section and line the cabinet. So yeah, it fits very well. Okay, so we have that in correctly. Need to put one over here, and I'm going to put something over here too. So that means this guy has to drag up. Flip it. That view. That's this one. And let's just put a bank of drawers in there. So that would be, put this guy in. Create similar. Go to the floor plan. Put that guy in right here. The face is right. Okay, so we can take a look here. What have we got? Let's measure. We can escape, measure. I had a terrible time measuring there. All right, I'll make it 2 feet wide. So I click on this guy. Let's see what we have as our options here. 24 inches. There it is. See how easy that is. And I'll just use the arrow key on the keyboard to nudge it over. So there'll be a little bit of filler in there. Looks like the door will swing and miss this handle. Probably wouldn't be that kind of handle. Again, this is Revit City things downloaded from Revit City, and that's the handle that comes with this cabinet. All right, so let's see. One more. Let's align it right here. Okay, looks good. And I don't see any reason not to do the same thing on that side. So let's grab this guy. We're going to mirror it about. Yeah, okay. So then I can see that it's in there. I'm going to have to flip this guy so I can see it in the other direction. Make it wider. Let's measure it. You know, if I go out today, definitely new notes. So 3 feet's too much. Wouldn't do that. So let's put in this cabinet right here, just a bank. Create some. I wouldn't make that cabinet 3 feet wide. So come in here. All right, and I can see that I need to flip it. Okay. And I'll use my arrow keys just to nudge it down a little bit. And now the face is in view in my section. That's good. I can grab both of these guys. Holding down the control key to pick another object, the second one. Let's nudge that over a little bit. All right, so I have my cabinets in here. I have my cabinets in here. I have my cabinets in here, base cabinets, and now I want to put my base cabinets in here. So let's pull this guy down a little bit. It's looking in the wrong direction, so we'll flip it. And now I'm looking at my pantry right here. And I'm going to put a base cabinet in. Don't see any reason not to simply copy that here to here. And let's make it a much smaller cabinet. Let's see. That's the smallest base cabinet we have. Actually 24, probably. Let's try 30. See how that looks. So we're going to align center and center. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Now, what do I got? A little bit of space left here from the edge here. Let's just put in. All right, we'll do this one. Create similar. And I'll put that guy right. The only reason I put it there was so I can flip it if I had to. And I can align it. That's okay. Undo. Do this. I think it was because of the mouse. All right, so I went through a line. I'm pushing that very, very hard. And, see all the work that this thing is causing. I'm going to undo. I don't know. I like that. So let's align. Okay. So this mouse is just way too needy. All right. So we're looking at this guy. Let's put the rest of the base cabinets in. I really should do the upper cabinets at the same time. So here, let's do it. Let's put our upper cabinets in. I'm not sure why I didn't. Do the cabinets to begin with. It's questionable here. Create similar. It's a wall-based unit, so I have to put it on the wall. Okay. It's hosted by a wall. What I mean. Now, these upper cabinets don't have to be that same super height. This is a 30-inch, I believe. What's this? 24. Let's change it to 30. 30 is 2.6. Let's align it. Now, you don't have to have any more space than that. In my kitchen, I have two kitchens because I have a lakefront home. The main kitchen has the sink has cabinets above it like that, and it works fine. So don't have to leave that as a gap, I guess is where I'm going with that. And the edge here. So I want to go a foot beyond that for my next cabinet. So I'm going to fill that space in with another cabinet. So let's copy this over first. This mouse is horrible. I've never ever had a mouse that's so bad. All right, let's align this guy up right here. And it's pretty close, but it's not quite right. So I have to take 3 inches off of whatever that is. So that's 2'6", and now I need a 2'3", which is 27. All right. So the rest of the space between here and here would be a filler. Okay, so that looks good to me. Let's save it. I probably want some windows in here. So now's a good time to put those windows in. Oh, that's going to create similar. If I put those windows here. Remember, those windows are those really high windows. Let's flip it. And see, that's why we put the cabinets taller so that they line up with the windows. Window. This is my question. Let's take a look at this window. My depth of field is not going to show me, so I'll just move this section back to there. Right. I wanted to see what the height of the window was, and let's see, the sill height is -5 feet. All right, so if I take the sill height here, it's not from the first floor, it's from the top of the first floor windows. -5 feet. -5. Okay. So now when we go look at that section, it's in the right height. Top of the windows, this is my top of the windows level. So now the question is, do I want to increase these cabinets to go to the top of the window? That's a detail. That isn't real critical because, as I say, there's going to be a professional involved here. Let's change this to a professional window. I'm sorry, professional cabinet person is going to lay this out. So now we can go back to that section. And this one actually might work, but I'm still going to make it 3 inches. 24 instead of 27. Or I could go the 24 by 60, which would give me the real height. But let's just do the 24 for me. A line. All right. Oh, I just put the window in and didn't center it. Okay, so we have to do that first. We want the window centered, say from here to there. All right, now the window is centered. I can click on that, delete, enter. Got rid of that. Let's go back to that section and see what happened there. So yeah, it moved over and make this smaller. So now 24, we have a 20. 20 inches is 1 foot 8. I don't see it, so that means I have to make one. Edit the type, duplicate it. I'm going to call it 20 inches. Say okay, and I'm going to make the width of it 20 inches. Okay. All right, and now I think we're in good shape. I'll align it. All right, and so this guy, I'll just delete him and take this one and mirror about the midpoint of the window. Okay, so for now, that's good. Okay, now we need base cabinets here as well. We need the second floor. I don't need a kitchen. We'll just do it this one. Create similar. Yeah. Twice. Sometimes the mouse is sensitive. Too sensitive. It's almost never sensitive enough. 90. All right, so I can see it. Like that. Let's align this guy, all right? And then we'll mirror. Okay, and I can put a little bank of. Let's see. Let me do it there, but I definitely can do it here. Rotate it. 90. And back over there. Let's measure how much I have. 1 foot 11. So I couldn't put it. I couldn't put a two footer in there, so I have to put in 1 foot 9. See if we have one. So I'm looking for 19. No, 1 foot 9 is 21. Still don't have it, so we'll make one. Duplicate it, 21 inch. And we'll change that to 21 inches. And we'll say okay. Now when I use this again for this model for my template, I will have that cabinet available next time. Align, I want to align here and here. Now it'll just be a folder. Okay, so we can mirror this guy and then change him probably to 12 inches. Let's see what happens if we do 12 inches. Yeah. Oh, we need to do the 9-inch right. I think that's okay. All right, so then we just go to the floor plan to see the cabinets are not aligned properly here. We align multiple. And this is my point of alignment. Okay, save it. So I have my base cabinets and my upper cabinets in the pantry. I have my base cabinets. There wouldn't be any upper cabinets in the powder room. Again, powder room, no upper cabinets, but here we should have some upper cabinets. So let's figure that out. It's probably going to be a window here. So let's do that again. Create symbol. that window over here. And then what would we say about the properties of that? Top of the window, the base is going to be top of first floor window. And then I think we said minus 5 feet. I think that's correct from memory. Let's pull this over here. Flip this section. Go to the view. Yep, okay. And so I can put cabinets. I think I'm just going to put cabinets on this wall and this wall, not put anything on there. Okay, I'm happy with that. So create similar there. And okay, we have this one to look at first. Get any more? Put in more. That section is not what we want, but this one is right here. Okay. I want to cut through the cabinet. Let's see. This is a 24-inch, and this is a 24-inch. Okay, so I'm going to align. And we'll just copy another one of those. And we'll put the rest of that in the view filler. Okay, now we'll flip this guy. And look at my depth of field. Dash line, I can just, nope, I wouldn't be able to see it. So let's pull him down a little bit more so I can actually see that cabinet. Here it is. I can go all the way across there. Let's see. All right, so I'll align this one. I know I can put another one here. Copy. That's good. And then I'll just put a single right there. So I'll click on this one, create symbol, come over here. What's the width of this base here? 15 inches. I want this guy to be 15 inches. It is. I know. So I can align. Here we go. Save it. I think I have my cabinets in. Yep, I do. So I'm going to save this and stop this tutorial right here.